Well, first of all, demonetization or what would possibly be a better terminology for it, currency swap, was per se illegal. Because if you look at the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, the act allows you only to demonetize a particular series in a currency and not demonetize an entire currency as a whole. So therefore, what's been done is A, per se illegal. B, whenever demonetization has taken place in the past, it's been done through the ordinance/legislation route. So therefore, doing it by executive action on the 8th of November 2016 is not something which is going to meet the test of law. Number three, the Reserve Bank of India Act makes it very clear that if you have to introduce a new denomination, you will have to amend the Act and include that particular denomination in the series which are already enunciated. The 2000 rupee note, which was introduced by this demonetization exercise, is again something which doesn't meet the rigors of the law. Then again, there is a point of view, and a valid point of view, that short of declaring financial emergency under Article 360 of the Indian Constitution, you cannot impose arbitrary limits on people withdrawing their own money from banks. And finally, legal tender is movable property in the hands of the people. Article 300A of the Indian Constitution makes it absolutely clear that you cannot take away people's property by executive action. So demonetization per se is illegal, and that's why the Supreme Court of India is currently hearing a challenge to it. A constitution bench has been constituted, and they are in the process of hearing this challenge. Even on the three objectives which Prime Minister Modi had outlined in his address to the country on the 8th of November, namely to try and contain black money, to proscribe terror financing, and to get rid of counterfeit currency. On all these three objectives, this exercise has come out short. State elections are fought on their own dynamic. They are fought on regional issues. They are not fought on national issues. So therefore, it would be a complete misnomer to read too much into a state election. A state election has issues which are state specific. So therefore, while undoubtedly 5 states are currently going to the polls, and many more would be between now and 2019, to read too much into the result one way or the other, in my humble opinion, would be an erroneous political judgment. Well, President Trump has been elected by the people of the United States of America. He had a certain platform, and that platform was validated by the American people through an electoral exercise. What you see unfolding, or what we see unfolding, is a fundamental redefinition of American interests. What it means to be an American, how what is, or where does America's national interests lie, and increasingly the Andrew Jacksonian line, as opposed to the Hamiltonian or the exceptionalism which President Wilson had advocated. You are seeing an increasing insularity insofar as President Trump's policies in the first month of his administration are concerned. And there is going to be a fundamental incompatibility, because President Trump says America first, Prime Minister Modi says India first. So therefore, even in terms of trade and commerce, even in terms of the regular business activity, if both countries are going to head into a phase of increased protectionism, I do not know as to how these two incompatible variables are going to square up. Well, the current state of relations between India and Pakistan couldn't be worse than what they are. And both India and Pakistan have always maintained that this is a bilateral dispute which needs to be settled bilaterally. But of course, there are friends and allies around the world who can possibly lean on Pakistan in order to really try and see that it is not in their interest also to be the state sponsor of terror. Because ultimately, what is that India wants from Pakistan? India is not looking for trade. India is not looking for cultural exchanges. India is not looking for any other palliative from Pakistan. All that India is looking for is that there should be a complete cessation of the export of terror. If Pakistan stops exporting terror, if it stops using terror as an instrument of state policy, if it stops sending these semi-state actors across the border which cause havoc in India, then there's no difficulty between India and Pakistan, because the rest will automatically fall into place. So therefore, there is already a composite dialogue which covers a whole bunch of issues, including Kashmir, Siachen, Sir Creek, and the rest of the contentious issues, including water, the Tulbul Barrage, etc. So therefore, there can be forward movement on all these points of inflection, provided that the terror which is exported by Pakistan, which costs innocent lives, that stops. And Pakistan, unfortunately, has got into a situation whereby the crows have come home to roost. And they've come home to roost a little early, because if you look at the amount of mayhem which these terrorists are causing within Pakistan, it is extremely unfortunate. I mean, whether it was the school massacre in Peshawar, or recently 2 days ago, you had the bombing of a Shia shrine in Sindh. So therefore, Pakistan has to realize, as the erstwhile Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, had correctly said, that if you nurture snakes in your backyard, sooner or later they're going to come back to bite you.